Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving deep into the early buzz around Paul Thomas Anderson's new film, One Battle After Another.
Yeah, this one's getting a lot of attention.
It really is. And this deep dive feels necessary because, I mean, it's not just another movie release, is it? It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn,
Right, huge names.
and it seems to be wading right into some extremely divisive political subjects.
That's the core of it. Our
Yeah.
mission here really is to figure out how PTA pulled this off. How can a film be called chaotic, random, weird, but also genuinely brilliant?
Yeah, that's the question. What's a basic setup?
So the plot seems to follow Bob. That's DiCaprio's character. He's an ex-member, actually a bomb maker, for some kind of violent activist group. Vigilantes, basically.
Right, the start.
Right. And he's trying to leave that life, wants to raise a kid, but inevitably his past catches up. The law and also Sean Penn's character, the antagonist, they come after him.
Okay, so hearing that, you'd expect like a really heavy, maybe somber political drama.
You would think.
Yeah.
But here's the paradox everyone's talking about in the reviews. The film is apparently primarily a hilarious comedy.
A comedy with that setup.
Yeah, but layered with genuinely riveting, suspenseful drama. It's a strange mix.
How does that even work? Where's the comedy coming from?
Well, a lot of it seems to hinge on DiCaprio. His performance as this paranoid ex-activist is getting called amazing. The comedy isn't like set-up punchline jokes.
No.
It's more from his frantic energy.
Mm-hmm.
The sheer panic of this guy trying to outrun everything. It's so tense it apparently tips over into being funny. There's even a specific mention of a laugh-out-loud rooftop chase.
Wow, that sounds like a really fine line to walk. Doesn't the comedy like undercut the stakes, the violence?
Apparently not. The review suggests the humor comes from the absurdity of the situation itself. And you contrast DiCaprio's jittery performance with Sean Penn.
Okay, what's his role like?
He's described as a great antagonist, but also just a straight-up weirdo.
A weirdo.
Yeah. His, straight-faced, maybe unhinged delivery seems to be the perfect counterweight. It keeps the stakes real, stops it from just becoming a farce.
Okay, so you have these clashing tones, high energy, but PTA somehow makes it work. What about the length? I heard it's long.
It is. Close to 3 hours. Like 2 hours, 40 minutes before the credits roll.
Ooh, that's a commitment.
But here's the thing. The reviewer felt it just breezed by. Which, for a film that long dealing with tricky stuff, that's saying something.
That really is. How did he manage that?
Seems like PTA is back in that mode from his earlier films, Punch Drunk Love, maybe Boogie Nights. That kind of masterful pacing, he just holds your attention.
Keeps it moving.
Exactly, keeps it propulsive. Especially during the chase sequences. There's one on a desert road that gets a special mention, apparently extremely well telegraphed by the score.
Okay, explain that for our listeners. Well telegraphed by the score. What does that feel like when you're watching?
It means the music isn't just sudden noise when action kicks off. It sort of builds, like a subtle dread, maybe a hum, that lets you, the audience, feel that something's about to happen before it actually does visually.
Oh, okay. So it primes you.
Right. It's a classic technique, but apparently done brilliantly here. Helps keep that long run time feeling tight.
Which sounds essential because now we have to talk about the trickiest part, the politics. How does a film tackle violent protest, extremism, without getting preachy or just turning people off?
Yeah, and this seems to be the core of why it's getting such positive early reactions. It handles these incredibly sensitive topics without seeming to take sides.
No sides at all.
The reviews really stress that. One said something like, almost nobody in this movie is the good guy.
Yeah.
It just dives into that moral gray area. It's not trying to tell you this is right, this is wrong.
But isn't that a risk today? Refusing to take a side, especially with extremism. Could that feel, I don't know, cynical, like it's avoiding the issue?
That's a fair question. But the way it apparently avoids that cynicism is key. It's not just neutral. It's equally satirical.
Equally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It achieves that balance by explicitly poking fun at both sides. It lets the audience laugh at these, frankly, horrific things, but in a way that's described as tasteful and thought-provoking.
Tasteful laughter about horrific things.
How it seems PTA focuses the satire not on the ideologies themselves, maybe, but on the incompetence, the human flaws of the extremists. The characters are targets first, their politics second.
Ah, I see. So the laughter is aimed at the sort of human messiness and absurdity within the conflict, not at the conflict's political points directly.
Exactly. And that probably explains why critics are expected to really appreciate the commentary even while it's still accessible as just, a comedy or a drama for everyone else. Got 4 stars for comedy, 4.5 for drama, and in one review.
Makes sense. And are people talking awards?
Oh, yeah, definitely. DiCaprio, Penn, PTA for directing. They're all being mentioned. It feels like the film succeeds because its commentary is maybe more observational. It mirrors the chaos without shouting answers at you.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for someone about to watch it? There was one last detail in the reviews that caught my eye. The horror rating.
Right. That was weird. Only 1 star for horror.
Which seems low given the subject matter involves bombs and extremists.
Exactly. But the reasoning was interesting. It wasn't that the events weren't horrific. It was because the comedy, the exaggeration, felt too close to reality.
Too close.
Yeah, like laughing at this fictionalized stuff felt almost ridiculous because real life is already so absurd.
And that leaves you with a pretty provocative thought, doesn't it?
It really does. If laughing at fictional political horror feels weird because it's hitting too close to home, well, what does that say about how we process the actual news? The stuff we see every day that's often, not that ridiculous compared to the movie.
Right. It sort of challenges the whole point of dark comedy when reality itself feels like one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something to think about long after the credits roll.